So you really don't want to get this wrong. You will regret it and it won't be pretty. Hey guys, it's Caleb, welcome back. So today I have a very cool and almost prehistoric looking fruit to be sharing with you. And I actually only tried this fruit for the first time a couple of days ago and I was very blown away by it. So I did want to bring you along and share with you this experience. And this is the fruit here. It is the Monstera Deliciosa. It's a very amazing, weird looking fruit. And it actually grows on this type of plant that's here behind me. So this is the Monstera here. And this is also known as the Swiss cheese plant. And you can see why it's got the holes in the leaves. And yeah, you guys might know of this because it's grown really commonly as an indoor plant as well. You can see it in heaps of people's houses and it's growing in popularity a lot recently. And I've always actually known this plant as the fruit salad plant, and the reason for that is because of the fruit here. They smell like fruit salad, really, really tropical, really delicious smelling when they are ripe or when they're ripening. So if you're wondering actually where I got these fruits from, because they didn't come from the plants here behind me, these ones actually came from when I was on a bushwalk and I found a massive Monstera plant growing out in the wild. There was probably actually several of them growing there, and they were just loaded with fruits and flowers of different stages. So it was really cool seeing the flowers, the small fruits and the large fruits all on it. And yeah, it seemed to be just loving it growing there under the trees and just sprawling all over the place. So I did pick 3 of the larger fruits, I brought them home and I've had them in my cupboard ever since. So now that these fruits have been sitting around for a couple of weeks, these have just started to naturally peel off on their own. They're literally just falling off without hardly even touching them. As you can see there, the little platelets or scales just naturally peel away. So if these just come off with gentle pressure like this here, the fruit in behind, which is this white flesh here, is actually all good to eat. You don't want to keep peeling them off and actually pulling them away down here. These only ripen a little bit each day. So when these are unripe, they actually have these needle-shaped crystals of calcium oxalate in the flesh. They're also called raphides, and they cause little tiny wounds all in your mouth and throat, and it can cause swelling and irritation. It's really not pretty. It's just like eating a whole bunch of tiny little needles, like a cactus. Really not a good thing, so you want to avoid that. And the reason these have these raphides in them is basically as a defense mechanism against things eating them. And the leaves and the stems of the plant have these in them as well, so don't go chewing on one of those. You will get some needles in your mouth. One other thing to mention as well, when they're not ripe, they have high amounts of oxalic acid, which does reduce as they ripen. But just a note, if you guys are having to avoid oxalic acid because of like kidney stones or some other health thing, just maybe do your research on that before trying these out. But otherwise, you should be good as long as these are peeling away on their own. All the flesh underneath is good to go. So anyway, that said, let's get into it and finally give this a taste. So I'm just going to pick a little bit out. Now it does have a few of these little black bits in here. I think you can eat them, but I think these are the bits that do have maybe some of those raphides in them. So I might just wipe a little bit of them off. I think it will be okay though. Let's give it a try. Man, that is honestly so good. It tastes almost like, yeah, it tastes a lot like pineapple actually. That's the thing that comes to mind at first. It's really fleshy and just really tropical. A lot of tropical flavors in that. Check that out. Isn't that amazing? It almost reminds me of a pineapple as well because of how, you know, it's all sort of segmented. Smells a bit like strawberries. I have read that people say they think it tastes like banana, but I don't really get that. I think it's more like a fruity, tropical type of fruit rather than banana. So yeah, pineapple, strawberry is what I'd sort of compare it to. Really delicious. Okay, so that one had a few more of those little black bits on it, and I do sort of notice a little bit of a stinginess, so I think that is some of those raphide needles getting into my mouth, but I don't think it's too bad. I'll see if this one is any different here. This one is a bit more further through. As you can see, that's just really easily peeling away. The rest of it I haven't even peeled, it's just fallen off. It's still in sections like that. As you can see, it's just all holding together. But these parts are not edible. You just leave them. You just eat the flesh underneath. And again, these are the little black bits. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. But you can wipe the majority off if you want. And yeah, good to go. It's really, really tasty, honestly. Really good. I don't know what more to say, but you just have to try it because it's really tropical, really nice tasting, and yeah, an epic find. I'm really stoked that I found these, and you know, these were just growing in the wild, so I was pretty lucky to come across that, I reckon. They grow really well in parts of New Zealand here, and especially the warmer areas. Have you ever wondered why Monstera have holes in the leaves? I've wondered this quite a bit, and there seems to be quite a few theories behind it. One of the leading theories is so that it can actually maximize the amount of light that the leaf can reach. And because these grow in areas where there's not much light at all, it means by actually modifying the leaf shape, they can cover a larger area to absorb as much sunlight as possible, because there is only specks that come through the big canopy layer. So that does seem to make a lot of sense. Some other theories behind it as well is so that water can come through the holes and actually get down to the roots. And some people also say that it's so that they can tolerate areas of high winds, because the winds can pass through the leaves. I do tend to agree that it probably is for the reason of getting as much light as possible, but it's certainly an interesting topic anyway, and you know, there could be multiple reasons for it as well. There's also something else. Come and have a look at this. So this sort of wrinkled or ruffled thing at the base of the leaf is called a geniculum, and what this is actually used for is to direct the leaf into different areas to maximize the amount of sun it can get, and it can tilt them up and down and to the side, and as you can see, it's a really cool quality that these plants have. And I have noticed that they don't really have these on the younger leaves, it's mainly on the older and more mature leaves. But yeah, just a very interesting and cool adaptation that I thought you guys might like to see. Anyway guys, I think I'll leave it there for today's video, but if you want to see me tasting and growing some other weird fruits, make sure you check out some of the other videos on my channel. And if you enjoyed seeing this weird fruit, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I really look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Alright, have a good day and we'll see you soon.